I'd like to switch reels a little bit. It's no secret that your name is being mentioned as a possible school district candidate. And I think what you're doing here and in the community kind of fits that. Give us the prognosis of the possibilities of why would you want to get involved in public education, public policy.
Public service is actually the first question.
Okay.
And, I personally think that public service is a noble endeavor, and I'm sort of frustrated by the fact that, public servants are not looked upon as people who are really contributing in a positive way. I think we lost track of that in sort of in the Nixon years, and we sort of haven't gotten it back, the sort of nobility of public service. In terms of public education, it's just sort of a natural graduation of my own interests. I haven't decided on whether or not I would want to do that. I would have to weigh that out with all the other things I'm doing in my life. And to be totally honest with you, Erroll, I really like what's going on here at Children Today. I get a tremendous amount of satisfaction from it, and that's the most important thing is can you contribute? How can you contribute? How can you best contribute that fits with your life?
Yes.
And so that's a decision I would have to make as it comes.
What you would feel is maybe one or two of the single most important things that a Long Beach Unified School District or a public institution needs to be doing at this time that they're not doing?
Well, I think there needs to be a philosophical shift about what public education is in the mentality of everybody, and you need real leadership to help change that. Public education needs to be a larger social responsibility, a part of the larger social responsibility that everybody is involved in. When I say that, I think of actually where we are today here at the Playhouse. It's part of a collaborative here by the city of Long Beach, where there are 14 agencies that are co-located here. And many of these agencies, such as Children Today, are self-funded completely. Public education needs to go in that direction as well, totally and completely. There needs to be more involvement by the larger society in what's going on. Right now, I think people have a sense of they pay their tax dollars. They don't want to pay too much. They pay their tax dollars. That should be the limit of their involvement. Leave the people who are involved in the education field to be responsible for everything that's going on. And that's that. And I think there needs to be a sort of shift from that mentality.
Well, shift in what way? I mean, that seems to make perfect sense to me that people who have been trained to be public educators need to be left alone to educate the public. But having said that, let me play two ends against the middle. 50% dropout rate in this city. Many so-called minorities are not achieving at the level that they're supposed to. There's a large achievement gap. So I've almost answered your question, but what type of shift are you talking about?
The type of shift that I'm talking about is really geared towards more specialized delivery of needs, is an easier way of saying it. More programs that are involved, that are specifically guided towards the needs of children in our society today. Mm-hmm. So that could be anywhere from training and whatnot to agencies like. Let me take it back 1 second. Here at the Collaborative, here, mm-hmm. various agencies, they're not competing with each other. Each one is designed to fit a specific need. Here at Children Today, we're providing childcare. If a family comes into the multi-service center, they are able to leave their children here, if they're enrolled in the program, to be able to be involved in the other things that are going on in the multi-service center. So, for example, if somebody is in need of substance abuse issues, counseling, training, job training, all those things are available. I would like to see that type of partnership take place within our education system from private enterprise, specifically geared towards readying people for the world. Okay. Not just preparing them to do well in school, but readying them for the world.
Well, now that is
integrating them into the world. There shouldn't be a 50% dropout rate because there should be more things that interest children to want to keep them there. And I think right now there's no sense of hope. There's no sense of linkage between what's going on. Does there need to be more vocational programs? Does there need to? Absolutely. Of course there does. But that needs to come. What I'm saying is that's just not the responsibility of the district. Everybody's got to get involved. And that's the mentality that the district should play, I believe. You've got to weave in the larger community.
But there's apathy. You know, my last question to you is, how do you provide incentives for people to come out of the closet and be more proactive as parents and as business people in an issue of public education? How do you get that done?
I think it's simple. You've got to ask, and you've got to set higher expectations for them. I keep going back to Children Today because I like to promote the program. But at Children Today, we have to ask. There's no incentive for anybody to contribute to this other than tugging at somebody's heartstrings, so to speak. People like to be asked. They like to be approached. They do. People out there, I believe, are good and ultimately will want to contribute. Business leaders in our community and outside of our community will take notice of what's going on. Certainly people are noticing all the things that are happening in Long Beach Unified. Being a recipient of the Broad Prize, people are certainly taking notice of all the things that are going on in Long Beach. They like to be approached. We need to go out there and ask them to be involved.
Well, certainly, we want to thank you for taking our time in your busy schedule to talk about just this agency that you're so much a part of, talking about public education and where it probably should go. We look forward to your final answer to whether you're going to be a candidate for the Board of Education to continue your long tradition of public service. We want to thank you for the interview.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Josh Lowenthal, who is the chairman of the Board of Children Today, a very unique agency dealing with a special population. I really encourage you businessmen, you philanthropists, to contribute to this cause because this issue of homelessness in Long Beach is our issue. These traumatized children, these children who really have to fend their way with the help of their parents to have a more stable life. I want to thank Josh again for being on the program. We will see you next week with another exciting guest on All Sides. Good night.